All right, well, we've got all of our logs ready for the raised bed, and I think this is going to work out pretty good. We'll have to do some figuring once we get everything kind of pulled in there and measured out, but these are going to work good. So it doesn't have to be perfect, just has to hold dirt, and I think that'll be pretty easy to accomplish here. So I got these forks from a good friend of mine, and man, these things have just changed how I do things around here. They make light work of moving anything around. You can fork a pallet up and lift, IBC totes, 55-gallon drums, logs and trees and bins and just about anything with these. So they just they're homemade, and they just basically clamp right on the side of the bucket here. Now these were made for a little bit of a thinner bucket, and that's why you saw me having to pound them on here. They don't fit quite all the way on, so I can't really get that set screw in there really well. Once I pound them in there though, I probably could tighten this up. I just have never needed to, so I usually just kind of pound them on there, and if they fall off, I put them back on. But I brought out the old Ryobi today. This is the old 40-volt little Ryobi chainsaw, and it's just easier to throw in the tractor and carry out here. It's lighter weight. It's good for, just getting a few little branches and stuff like that off, rather than getting out the big 20-inch saws. I have a steel and a Husqvarna saw, but this thing is a really good little saw. Actually, it's pretty sharp, and it's great for limbing stuff up. It's super lightweight. So even though we've kind of moved into bigger saws for bigger things out here, obviously we can't handle this stuff with a little battery saw, but this thing still has its use out here. So my plan was to try to get all of these in one load. I don't know if I can do that. Not only just the weight of all of them, I'm not sure my forks will hold all of them. So I'll try to scoop up as many as I can here and carry them up and drop them off, and then we'll come back and get the rest. Well, dang, I guess I found the limit of the forks. That's not going to be easily fixed. I tried to grab 4 of them, and it wasn't moving, it wasn't lifting. I backed up, tried to grab 3, and I guess I can't see over the bucket to see, if things are bending. So, well, apparently they were bending. That's a bummer. That's going to delay us here a little bit, because it's going to be a lot harder to get all these logs up there without the forks. I was just talking about how great these things were, and I went and broke them. Well, maybe we can beef them up a little bit and make them stronger. But another day for that. Now the question is, how do I get all these logs up to the house without the forks? I don't want to drag them, wreck the hay fields. All right, we are all up here, 6 pine trees. And I put these 2 on the top here. These are the kind of the thinner ones, and a little shorter too. So I'm gonna work with these first. These are gonna be the ends and the center supports. And then these big old pieces here, these are gonna be, you know, the sides. My plan was to take this window out of each side, take each window out, and hook a strap up all the way through the greenhouse on the other side, and pull the whole trunk right through into the greenhouse. Hey, it's a bummer about those forks. You know, it's just so appreciative of those, and now I got to fix them. But definitely will get those fixed, because I can't see myself living around here without them anymore. But not a big deal. I think we can put those back in place and maybe weld a support on them or something. So we don't need them for the rest of this build, I don't think. We should be able to manhandle these around with the tractor bucket and tow straps and stuff. So sometimes these projects, I have a tendency to have big plans and just dive in and start working before I really consider how much work it's going to be. Oh, just grab some trees and throw them in here, make a raised bed. And sometimes it takes me a little longer than expected to get these projects completed. But I think that's probably a good thing, because if I sat around and considered how much work it was, I probably would never get it done. So, but we're going to get this done here. We're going to start sectioning these off and taking some measurements and kind of making a plan and getting these logs in place here. Well, I'm running out of daylight here today, but we're coming together. I've got most all of our, well, I've got all the 6-foot center pieces and end pieces cut. Those are all staged and ready to go. Dragging that tree in here actually worked out pretty good. So I think we'll keep them at the 25. This is a 25-foot log, I believe, 24 and a half, 25 feet. And so I just have to get, well, 3 more drug in here. I'm going to try to make the walls 2 logs tall, so it's going to be a pretty deep raised bed when it's done. I mean, it'll probably be about 24 inches deep, a little deeper than I had initially planned, but I think that's going to look pretty cool. We don't have to fill it all the way right away, because that's going to be quite a project too, because I have to wheelbarrow all the dirt in here to fill it. So we may just fill it up 12 inches and then maybe add to it later on. But so really the next thing I need to do is just get the second side in here. The next one will go over on this side, and then I'm going to go ahead and do what's called a Scandinavian saddle, I believe, or a Swedish saddle, I can't remember. But basically you just you know, I'm going to carve a saddle in the log here and on both of them so they fit together, and then that will drop this log right down to ground level and allow it to kind of lock together. I've also got some of these like lag screws, like 3/8 lag screws, that I'll put in those joints on each one of these, and then same with on the next one. Once I have that in place, then we'll put another layer of end, another layer in the middle, another layer at that end, and then we'll go ahead and drag our last 2 top pieces on, and we'll saddle those together and lag them together, and then we'll fill it up. So the hardest part really is getting the logs in here, but this thing is going to be beautiful. I think it's going to look really nice in here. I like the log look, so should be pretty cool. Of course, you know, you can build raised beds all kinds of ways. We could have just thrown some 2x6s in here. I could have done a free pallet raised bed. I've done those before, but I wanted to do something different. And although this is super labor intensive, I didn't realize how much work it was going to be just moving these things around. But super labor intensive, and but it's going to be worth it. I think these are going to look really good, and they're going to work really well in here, and we'll be able to grow for years. I mean, it's going to take years and years and years and years to rot through, you know, these logs. So I mean, these are good 10 years that these will be in here with no trouble. So stay tuned for the next installment of the log cabin style raised bed saga. It's going to be quite a few parts to get this all completed, and I'll probably do a recap video at the end of the whole process from start to finish. So as always, guys, thanks for tagging along. Don't forget to hit thumbs up on the video, and every video makes a huge difference for us. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and don't forget to hit the little bell next to the subscribe button so you get notified when we post new videos. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.